Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lance and Lauren here, and we are live doing Elevated with Lance and Lauren. This is episode 24, so I can't believe that we've done this long, but it's been fun.
As if we wouldn't stick with it.
No. I mean, just like it's already been this long. It just time flies. I'm
does.
sounding like the older people that whenever I was younger, I'm like, oh Lord, yes, we get it. Time flies. But now it's like, man, 24. I mean, that's at least 24 weeks. So going by fast. Nevertheless, guys, we're talking today about expecting obstacles on your fitness journey. As you see in the title here, your fitness journey will not always be straight or without hiccups or obstacles. So the fact is that if you're only prepared for a smooth journey, what you don't know can and will hurt your goals. I promise you that. We see this on a regular basis with our clients because our clients come in with a current mindset, and the mindset says, all right, I've messed up before, and as long as I can avoid all these mess ups, everything will go perfect, and I'm going to get this. And already, right off the bat, we have to let them know, no. It will not go perfectly. You will have funerals. You will have weddings. You're going to have emotional days at a long day of work that you do what I've done, and you eat an entire box of Cheez-Its. That literally happened. Or you go through a half a bag of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Also has happened. The fact is that if you're expecting to get everything perfect and to not have mess ups and to not get out of alignment, you are sadly mistaken. And this is going to be where most people end up having the most, I would say, the most travesty within their journey is simply because of the fact, I think that some people expect like, oh, well, Lance and Lauren, you guys are fit. You've been in this industry. You probably don't mess up. Are you joking? Our ability to rise after we mess up is what keeps us fit, not our ability to avoid it. If you're trying to avoid these things, what you're doing is you're using avoiding and escapism. We don't want to do that. Avoidism is not a word. But we don't want to do those. So nevertheless, guys, this does apply to so much more. Like most of the things we teach, they apply to so much more than fitness. So
it's a life application.
It is so much because, and the thing of it is that we've spoken with so many clients over this last year, especially since the beginning, or I would say early 2020, whenever things started going haywire and so on and so forth. People started feeling like nothing's going well, I'm not in control, and when people feel that loss of certainty, that's what's going to end up causing this fear of, I'm not prepared, I don't know what I'm doing, please help, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, we want to kind of get into a couple of these. We're going to try and keep it as quick as we can because this one's a big subject. So the very first one, guys, is that you need to stop preparing to only get into shape in a vacuum. So, by the way, you might hear our little kittens, by the way, so they come running in. We're not going to shut the door.
Forgot to shut the door today.
Nevertheless, though, so we want you to stop preparing for only getting in shape in a vacuum. And what that means is that so many of you guys are using these principles where it's just like, all right, I'll stay away from this, I'll stay away from that, and I'm just going to do my absolute best to never mess up. And what happens is, because you anticipate success being no mess ups, as soon as you have a mess up, you feel like you're unsuccessful, like you're defeated, like you're a victim, if you will. And this is something that we chat about often.
Yeah, and I want to kind of add to that. Unless you're preparing for a show and you're in prep, and I'll kind of, the reason why my thoughts are going here is I do have friends that compete, and that lifestyle is vastly different from what Lance and I do. We get asked all the time, oh, are you guys going to compete? Absolutely not. Want nothing to do with it. Don't want to live like that. I don't want to even live like that for a short stint, okay? So anyway, I saw someone that had a post a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was really, really good. She was talking about her prep life, and she said, prep doesn't care if you worked a 12-hour day, you still have to get cardio in. Prep doesn't care if you're exhausted and you have to eat certain calories or meals for her body for that prep. It doesn't stop. Like, you have to hit every single thing. My point is that unless you're in prep and doing this for a living and you're trying to be in a show, guys, if life happens and you miss a workout, or you do what we've done and emotionally eat one time, or you didn't get all your calories in, guess what? On the grand scheme of things, it's not going to hinder your journey. If you do that weekly, then yes, your
Yes.
timeline's going to get longer. But one time or a couple of days of that happening is, in the grand scheme of things, all it's going to do is maybe adjust your timeline by 3 or 4 weeks. Like, honestly, it's not a huge deal. And what we see a lot of times is so many people get wrapped up when they kind of like make a mistake or have a hiccup. They just think that their whole journey has gone to pot. And it's like, no. What has happened is that your timeline just has to shift a little bit. It doesn't change anything. Like for me, I mean, when I think about my goals, like for the last 8 months, I've been working on specific things and a lot has changed, but a lot has gone wrong. So if I would have just sat in those emotions of the gone wrong, then I probably would have just given up. And that's just a tragedy. And so I kind of wanted to just point that out. Like if you're not in prep or you're not trying to do this for a living, stop getting so like, I don't know, just diva-like and like, oh my gosh, about every time something happens that is just out of your control.
The thing of it is that there's a couple main things that you want to keep in mind. Number one, you're not a victim, you're a victor.
Yep.
So the very first thing, thank you guys. The very first thing is that you've got to step out of this victim mentality. Can you maybe shut that just so that there?
No,
All
I'll have
right.
to get up. Just
Anyway,
roll with it.
yeah.
They know, you guys know we have cats. It's fine.
Nevertheless, it's just more my
We have a
annoyance.
lot
I'm
of
trying to
cats.
focus. Anyway, so the very first thing is that you've got to realize that you're not a victim. So when things happen to you, they're not really happening to you. They really are happening for you. Because in life, you really do win or learn. And I know that sounds
love that.
cliche, but it is true.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest things that I've learned in business, and we talk about this a lot, and fitness, came from levels of dissatisfaction that I thought I cannot take this anymore.
Yep.
And I started seeking out other means. And because of the trouble, because of the obstacle, it led to some of the greatest victories possible. So start with that in mind. The second thing is, just like what she said, you need to be in focus on what your goals are. And I'm not talking about losing 40 pounds. That's your milestone. But what's your desired outcome? Are you looking to get on stage? Are you looking to compete? Are you looking to become a fitness model?
Right.
If not, then align your lifestyle with that of someone who is fit, but not a fitness competitor.
Right.
Stop following people that are fitness pros and fit competitors or Instagram models that are getting paid $1 million a year to be dehydrated, to say no to every food
Right.
possible, and to be a miserable person.
Yep.
They're getting
Just for
all
that
of that
butt
money.
pose.
Right. So you're not getting that. I'm not getting that. I don't want that
either.
lifestyle, and
No.
chances are you don't either.
Right.
So what I want you to do is to think about this, and this is something I just gave a client just the other day. You need to start realizing that this fitness journey, if you're doing it the way that we teach, it's a lifestyle. It's no longer 12 weeks. Get that out of
Yeah.
your freaking mind.
I was gonna say that.
It's not 12 weeks. It's not 90 days. It's not 6 months. Stop going to a diet for 3 months.
Yeah.
Stop looking for something that you're going to get on and get off of.
Yep.
This is not fitness.
Nope.
What that is you becoming a client for somebody who's willing to take your money for the rest of your life.
Right.
Trainers and coaches will let you do that. We won't. So I'm telling you, stop doing that. So here's what I'm going to give you the advice of. When you realize that one meal, if you're like us and you eat, let's say 3 to 6 meals a day, one meal is usually only 1/5 of your day. And then that day is only 1/7 of your week. And that's only 1/4 or 1/5 of your month. And that
good.
month is only 1/12 of your year. And
That's
that
good.
year is only 1/50th maybe of your journey.
Right.
When you think about that, now again, I didn't keep up with all the math on the fractions. I did that the other day. But the fact is you're talking about if your journey is a lifelong journey like ours is, one that you're never arriving, you're just constantly achieving new things and gaining new sense of fulfillment and confidence, then this is a lifelong journey for you. And that means that one mess up is simply a drop in the bucket. Nothing more.
It is.
So with that being said, if you focus on this being long term, the other part of this is to keep this thing in mind. And I preach this to my clients all the time. A mess up is what we would consider being weather. A
Yep.
series of mess ups is what we would consider being climate. If it's just weather, a storm rolling through, let it pass by. You don't need to freak out. If it's climate where you're doing this weekly and you're not getting results, now it's time to make adjustments. But many of you guys are freaking out from a storm or from weather, even though it's not really something detrimental. And here's the real problem with this. You get upset because you had a bad meal, and then you punish yourself the next day by not eating enough, which slows down your metabolism. You feel uncomfortable, you get crabby, which causes you to emotionally eat later that night or the next day, or you expect that it was going to fix the 1 or 2 pounds that you gained. You see that you're still not down in weight because that's not how the body works. You freak out and go, screw it, it's not worth it. This is all mindset. Do you hear this? This is not nutrition. This is not workouts. This is why we preach this stuff, because you guys are so focused. And again, this is the general you. The general you is focused on diet and exercise and give me this trick, and Lance, how do I get more of this thing when I'm doing this? My question is, are you consistently working out? No. Are you tracking your food? I think I eat clean though. Cool, you think you do? Write it down for 5 days and see if you eat what you think you're eating.
That's the best experiment for anybody to do. I love it when people tell me, oh, I eat really clean, and I ask, the next question I asked was, do you track your food? Well, no. Great. Here's your homework for 3 days.
Yep.
Get back to me.
And
then
here's
you go,
what
wow,
happens.
I had no idea I was eating all of this.
Yeah.
My fats are really high. I had no idea I was ingesting
No
that much
clue.
fat.
No clue. People have no clue. And here's the thing, guys. If I don't track, I have no clue
Me
either.
Same.
It's because we're not good at being objective with ourselves. We're not. We're emotional, and we've got things. And again, the brain is designed to generalize, distort, and delete. That can be good, but it can also be a detriment if you're not aware of it.
Right.
So again, the thing here between your 2 ears is so much more important than the nutrition, than your discipline, than your willpower. When you have these things in alignment, guess who doesn't need willpower and any of the discipline that everybody preaches? All of us. That's the beauty.
So true.
So the next thing is stop avoiding and escaping things to reach goals. This means that you're not prepared for the real world. Guys, I cannot express this enough. If you have gotten fit by avoiding all of this thing and you have not been able to do it for 3, 4, 5 years, this is something that you're trying to get yourself fit in a vacuum. This is not the real world. And what this means is when the real world happens, and how many of you guys have seen this, where you see a competitor and a competitor gets back and they're done now because they don't have the goal, and maybe it was just something they thought, all right, I'm going to get myself in shape and see if I can do this, and they do. And they come back, but they didn't really set their focus on a lifestyle, a goal. What's the goal after the goal? So what happens is they come back and they start gaining all this weight. They stop working out as intensely and they start freaking out. Why is this happening? Yeah. Oh my gosh, all I did was go back to what I was eating before. The problem is that the person doesn't realize and doesn't know enough about metabolism, energy balance, and how the lifestyle really does work. Yeah. This is a problem.
All the time.
And the reason that these people get fit while they're going on stage and why they can't keep it is because when they're going on stage, their focus is the lights, the glam, and being able to say that I've done this, and the trophy, and just being able to get fit. Yeah. So you're willing to.
They're also starving.
Of course, but that's my point, is you're willing to starve yourself. Yeah. You're willing to say no to all sodas, all diets, all of the sugars, all of the sweets, all of the things. Mm-hmm. How many of you guys think that you can keep that up for more than 12 weeks like they do? 6 months? 12 months? Doubt it. The fact is that these individuals are getting in shape, but they're not getting fit. Fit is a lifestyle. It's something that lasts. Could we get people in better shape faster? Well, I shouldn't say better shape. Could we get people to lose more pounds faster? No, yes. Absolutely. But at the expense of their metabolism, at the expense of their sanity, at the expense of their quality of life, and that's not worth it. That's not what we do. No. That's why we are a transformative program. We are not a weight loss program. We help you to make changes that are minimal, that lead to a little bit more menial, or a little bit more medial, and finally to maximum. Mm-hmm. But we start with baby steps. Yeah, so that's the key.
That's what it was for us.
It absolutely was.
I mean, again, it's, I think back to my own journey all the time, and it's like, truthfully, I didn't get to where I was like, cool, I just met this huge goal. It was like 6 or 8 months. I mean, it really was. The first 3 months were pretty oppressive, but to get where I was really going, it took a lot longer.
Absolutely.
And it was, and then I was also like, by the end of that 3 months, I have talked about this, but like, just kind of exhausted from all of that I was doing. Yeah. So I had to change things. So I'm like, oh, this isn't sustainable. So.
Well, and here's the thing, guys, and maybe this will help too, because one of our clients this last week, we had an awesome session with. And I think that I started sharing some of my own struggles, and I think he was blown away with how many things that I've battled. And the fact is that's not because I'm not some, conqueror because I've done all this. It's just simply the fact of I've stayed fit. I'm a fitness coach, and I've had so many obstacles, such as multiple surgeries for sinuses, getting 4 to 5 sinus infections every year. I've thrown out my back so many times in my 20s, which was crazy, had spinal issues, and you name it. So the fact is that I have had to, I had elbow issues that caused me to not work out. I couldn't even hold anything for 6 months. That was a little bit before we got married. The fact is that this stuff, it was a long time ago. Now I know what to do on that stuff. But the fact is that obstacles will happen. Your preparedness for this is what's going to make it a successful journey, not your ability to avoid obstacles and things that can happen. So the third thing here is that I want you to stop acting defeated when these obstacles happen and start devising a plan to get yourself back into alignment. There are no solutions in the woe is me, why is this happening, life sucks, and I keep on getting kicked while I'm down. There's no solutions there. So what we usually teach is you get a 5-minute, a 1 hour, or 24-hour rule for this. So this also plays when bad things happen, but when this happens and it's something that feels detrimental, you're allowed to complain and whine for 24 hours, do your thing, but then after 24 hours, it's time to get yourself back up, refocus on your goals, and ask yourself, what must I do to get back into this the alignment that helps me to get the lifestyle that I want?
Yep, because sitting in that trench isn't going to change anything.
Not at all.
You're just going to sit there and get further down and further down and further down.
Yeah, because you won't stay stagnant. You're going to go so far down because you're going to be like, well, if this doesn't matter, then neither will this.
It's such
and
a
I'm going to eat all of this stuff.
And you're going to be trying to answer the question that honestly people need to stop asking, and that question is, why is this happening?
Yes.
Stop asking that question.
Get out of the victim mentality.
It's honestly a very immature question. Who cares? You're never going to be able to answer it anyway. So let's figure out a better question. How do I move the needle from where I'm at to get back to where I'm trying to go?
Right.
That's the question you should be asking.
And here's the thing, and I won't drone on about this part here. You guys have listened to my GPS stories a million times, but I'm going to say it one more time. When you have a map does not tell you if there is a downed power line or if there's construction. GPS does. Yep. GPS will warn you, and it tells you, hey, Lance, you missed a turn. You need to get back on this so you don't lose more time. Yeah. Okay? You guys, if you have a system, we build a system. And that system is your GPS. Your GPS simply says you track your food daily, you work out 3 to 5 times a week for 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes per, and you do some of the what we call keystone habits or fundamentals. Those fundamentals, whether you messed up on Friday and the next day is Saturday, the fundamentals are still the fundamentals. Yeah. People always ask, oh man, Lance, I messed up on Thursday and Friday, what do I need to do? Same things you were supposed to do Thursday and Friday. Track your food. If you haven't gotten a workout, get your workout in. Turn in your stuff so that we can give you coaching. And then pretend that what happened Thursday and Friday didn't happen. That's it. Yeah. There's your recipe for success. Stop living in victim mentality. Here's the thing. That message is bigger than just fitness.
Oh, is it?
If you've lost your job, if you're struggling in business, if you're having struggles in relationships, what are you doing? Are you avoiding? Are you using escapism? Are you pretending it doesn't exist? Or are you sitting in this woe is me mentality where it's, why does this happen? They always leave and I can't keep a job. Do you know how many people have lost jobs and lost business over the last 2 years? So many, but let me tell you amazing stories soon on how many people have overcome and risen to the occasion. It's not your ability to avoid these obstacles that makes you successful. It's your ability to navigate through them that makes you successful. That's what our program does, the MYBC University, which is Master Your Body Confidence. It's all about that. It's not a weight loss program. It's a transformative program that teaches you how to change this between these two things and teaches you how to walk in this lifestyle so that your marriage is better, your business is better, your career, your parenthood is better, and your confidence. What things will change when you're out with your friends, your family, when you've got confidence like that? So many things change. So your focus needs to be on the right thing.
Great. I don't have anything to add to that.
All right,
you
cool.
were just preaching. I was letting
Preaching. All right. So guys, the thing of it is that alignment and preparedness is key. Not avoidance, not escapism, not numbing. These things I'm going to talk about soon also, escapism, numbing, avoidance. Yeah. Huge things. Yeah. So be prepared for that one. That one's a good one. Nevertheless, guys, I hope that this serves you. If it didn't serve you yet, go back and watch it again and listen and see if there are things that resonate, because I promise you, there are things here that when you focus and realize these things are affecting your journey, you're going to be able to start changing little microscopic things to get huge outcomes from those. And that means that you're not going to suffer just to get the lifestyle that you want.
Yep, and let us know what resonated with you down in the comments. So I like to always, when I'm doing stuff like this and watching other people's things, let them know like what big takeaway did I have from what I just learned from watching them. So do that for us. And yeah, well, I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much for watching. We really hope that this does serve you. Try and use this week. Focus on some of these things. If you have some questions on a few more techniques, drop them in the comments below.
Yep.
And we'll send you some resources and kind of chat with you a little bit too. So last thing is that if you do want to know a little bit more about what this system does look like, the Master Your Body Confidence University, and it's called the University because it literally does teach you how to become your own fitness coach. Not where you're going to learn all the crap that I had to learn back in the day, but the stuff on how to actually keep yourself fit just the way that we do. Where you know how to build your own meal plan. You know how to build your own workouts. You know what to do if you've gained weight or if your metabolism slows down. These are all things in that system. If you'd like to know more, shoot us a message, let us know, or feel free to shoot us an email or drop a comment below. So thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.